Financial advice video. Who is this guy to be advising anyone? Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I happen to be alright at saving money. Is it really so difficult? Well, for some, yeah. Due to no fault of their own, it's going to be near impossible for some to save anything because of hard personal or economic circumstances. But for others, the opportunity to save is there and has been there for a long time, but the opportunity isn't being taken. Yeah. My routine, in the basic sense, since I started full-time work many years ago, is always check my bank statement on a monthly basis. Incomings should always exceed outgoings. If they don't, questions need to be asked, potential cuts need to be considered. So being strict with myself is something I've developed or cultivated over time. My advice would be to avoid extravagance. You don't need to buy clothes for the labels, you don't need to be drinking in fancy wine bars, and if you're being honest with yourself, you don't really need to buy that new pair of shoes, you don't need weekly trips to the hairdressers, and you certainly don't need a manicure. Yeah. You don't need to keep finding excuses to, quote, treat yourself. Nothing wrong with a little treat every now and again, but it really should be every now and again. Don't overdo it, yeah. Alright, some things to stay away from. Credit cards. Yeah, they're a great way for people to get in way over their head. And credit card companies make it so easy for people, for young people. Yeah, these companies really are raking it in. Now, I can't order you or command you to give credit card companies a very wide berth, nor would I, if I could. But I see so many kids in this country getting into deep and unnecessary trouble. Spiraling debt can badly mess people's lives up. Yeah, so two things. Self-discipline, which is something that we all have to work on, yeah, and a personal philosophy with regards to money, erring on the side of frugality. Yes, these things are important in my view. But this doesn't mean you have to be tight-fisted, a tight-fisted miser, a penny pincher. You just have to have a little foresight, try to think in terms of years, as well as days, weeks and months. Here's something which has worked for me, but wouldn't do for everyone, and that is being single, not being romantically involved, or getting into long-term, committed, intimate relationships. That's me though. Yeah, I'm a bit of a loner. I go to massage parlours every now and again. I do have sexual needs and desires like most everyone else. When it comes to it though, I'm genuinely happy being single. I don't need a romantic other to complete me. Yeah, being single is a great way to save some cash, let's be honest. If you're in a loving relationship and you wouldn't have it any other way, you know what? Fair play to you. Good for you. Okay, next. Cutting out bad habits. I used to drink every day. I used to smoke, do drugs, illegal and over-the-counter stuff. I don't play those games anymore. Quit smoking, quit the drugs, and I don't drink on a daily, weekly, or even monthly basis. I went dry, changed lifestyle, It wasn't easy by any means. Obvious health benefits aside, the money I've saved in the last few years has been a great boost to the coffers. Yeah. You don't have to be a miser. Yeah, I mean, you know, you have to spend money to live well in this society. But it pays to search for a bargain. Reasonably priced, decent food and such is out there if you're willing to, you know, spend a bit of time looking for it. And as far as accommodation goes, I rent a room and I have access to the rest of the house where I live. I'm a lodger, essentially, and this arrangement is comfortable for me and far less expensive than the alternative, which would be renting an apartment or an entire house, which I don't need to do. So yeah. Anyway, to wrap it up here, I would ask, what would be prime motivational factor in you personally wanting to become better at saving some cash? You don't have to have a specific goal or goals, although it does help a lot of people if they do set targets. For some though, a more general goal of, let's call it, peace of mind is what's needed, yeah. And let's face it, unexpected, unpleasant surprises, yeah, they do happen. Nasty little surprises are a part of life. You're going to be better able to deal with such surprises if you're a moderate spender and a sensible manager of your own personal finances, right? Trouble can be avoided. On that note, I bid you all a fair and pleasant day. Until next time, folks, all the best.